Hi! We'll be playing in a preliminary with Mono-Red Prowess, which is a Obosh Prowess, which is a deck that I wanted to try for quite some time, but never got around to doing so. I guess fairly deceptive because it is a Prowess aggro deck, but it also is like it's monocolored, mono-red with like just mountains, but it's also capable of playing long games that go for so many turns that you'd be surprised. Main deck Blood Moon facilitates that a lot too, and it's good against some certain archetypes. Seasoned Pyromancer, Light Up the Stage, and now also Bomat Courier are gonna help you sustain a flow of cards. And well, the reason why I finally picked up a deck was because I've seen that it has won. The same person with this exact list has won both of the modern challenges this weekend, which is quite an impressive feat. The sideboard answers against Chalice, answers against Oriok Champion and other pro-red cards, and answers against Upsal Spells and Uro. Looks shit. Whenever I keep a hand like this with blue-red, I lose. We have mulligan to a hand that looks vastly preferable to what I had. Now, do we put back the Bone Crusher Gigante? I think we can actually put back the Firebolt. Although, like, it kind of depends on what we exactly play against. Now, I will obviously lead on a Soulscar Magie, then follow it up with turn 2 Swift Spear, Light Up the Stage, bar either my draw steps or opponent's cards, changing the equation somehow. Also, have you noticed that in this preview you can read Bone Crusher Giant's text, but it says whenever Bone Crusher and then the R is in the next line, which looks really funny because it's too many letters. You don't really understand the mana base. Only 2 Horizon Lands and 4 Forgotten Caves I don't understand. I'm playing Mountains and I didn't deck the winning person, so maybe they had 2 lists in both of the challenges. One of them with the caves. No, they played 17 mountains in both. Playing less of those because it's a Blood Moon deck, I assume. You could play more canopies, but against like the more controlling decks you want the Blood Moons anyways. And if people are playing Forgotten Caves, it's also for Blood Moon, because they want to be able to cycle their Forgotten Caves while Moon is out. You know, like revealing a Forgotten Caves with Light Up the Stage is... There's some benefit in absolutely blanking Field of Ruin. Although, like, you don't absolutely blank it, sometimes you enable it, like this hand would enable it. Although it's very minor. Minor, but like good enough to be actually a factor against 4 color, I guess. It's minor because 4 color is not as played as this. Clearly lead on Soulscar, right? Yes. Hands like this you lead on Soulscar Mage because this spear has haste, so better. By simple maths, you go turn 1 creature, turn 2 creature spell, then you deal 3 damage with your creatures, and otherwise you deal 4 damage with your creatures. Think you lead on Swift Spear? I don't think so, because I will want to enable Light Up the Stage on turn 2 with my creatures attacking this hand. So having 2 creatures that can attack is better against a removal spell. But turn 2 you probably light up post combat, but still an argument to leading on Soulscar Mage, because if my opponent, for example, is holding a singular Fatal Push, then if I lead on Swift Spear, that Fatal Push stops my Light Up the Stage from being cast if I lead on Swift Spear. And it doesn't stop me if I lead on Soulscar Mage. I don't know if my point will ever come to the game or not, because they lost connection to the game 4 minutes ago and they still haven't regained it, so some enticing content happening right here. Easy finding a strategy to beat Kaneki. It's simple, just play your cards. Like ideally would have more, but I play the card because I put the Firebolt back. This is the Infinite Life deck. Lava Dart, not Lava Dart. So had I knew it's an Arbor Elf deck, I would have kept the Firebolt instead of Bone Crusher, I think. Would have kept the first hand too. First hand would be decent. I mean, not really. Worst part is that this deck main decks Oriok Champions ×2 oftentimes, and that's kinda rude, if you ask me. Not the Bone Crusher Giant to stop that, but less than ideal. Come on. I'll deal damage. I'll cast Light Up the Stage. On a Mountain and a Bomat. I can't play Bomat with this. I'm going to Fireball the Elf. Next turn I can play Bomat. I play Mentor, it doesn't do anything yet. He's blocked. Ah, no blocks. Okay, no, the Bone Crusher Giant. Freak. Fortunately they shocked, so that means that they will cast a company and gonna get a Spike Feeder, and that's it. You can try to cast Lighter, then you can kill the Spike Feeder. Why not try to use the Storm as a combat tree, because then my opponent blocks with a 2-2 on a 1-1. And they didn't block the last turn, they probably won't block because they are aware of Stomp existing. So we can cast Light Up, try to find a 1 mana removal for this, remove this attack, so that we get extra cards underneath the courier. Or you can try to play the Bone Crusher Giant, but it's like not getting past this particularly effectively. So I think I like lighting up the stage more. Some extra couriers, okay. That means no attack for us. Played speed and attacked all they wouldn't have blocked. Yeah, probably right. That's too much cowardice. Like with the prize creatures in situations like that, I mean they would have blocked the Spike Feeder though on Bomat Courier. They wouldn't get the Bomat attacks, which would be relevant. But I agree. Like yes, they probably should have. With the price, you just need to play with a certain amount of bravado. Yeah, I agree. Attack with the price creatures and like they can't block because the extra Bone Crusher is so devastating. That is something that like I should be doing. I don't want to concede yet. They have a Ballista which is gonna be super hard to beat, but I don't think it's gonna be unbeatable. Looking for carry 10 this turn. It's a pre-board, it's a game 1, so don't have it in my deck. I'd probably be carrying the courier anyways, it's like 2 cards for 1. Not sure how you can win. If they blank, they throw a lot of blanks, then I can. But that means a lot of blanks. Maybe if I Blood Moon them out of green. Is this an attack with all situation? Probably is. Like, does not make sense for me to not attack. You have to Fire Blast Spike Feeder pre-combat? No, because I wanted to force a Ballista to crack the Bombats, because I want to crack the Bombats. Because I kinda need to draw a spell. Maybe a little bit of a tall order. But like, let's say I bolt this now and I get a Lava Dart. It's kinda not great still. But like, you know. Like how this prowess is always heal 2, but those are not. Draw a Swift Spear. Draw a Soulscar Mage, so no more spells for me. Which I guess... Okay, they shot the extra courier for no reason. They like absolutely had no reason to do so. They could have actually saved the Ballista as a 2-2 and like gained some value that way. Problem is that the Ballista still leaves for them and it's double draft. Because I can put 4 mana into pumping it up to a 3-3 and stuff. But we can draw a Divination guy, we can draw anything else. We have no cards. Now they can just move counters from Spike to Ballista to have a 5-5. Yeah, maybe I should have bolted the ballista still. I think I should have bolted the ballista maybe. He didn't move the counters, fortunately, but good F. The fact that I'm still in this game is kind of impressive. Of course my opponent blanked on the combo, but also like their deck is kind of prone to that. Of course this turn is not the greatest for me because I probably can sacrifice whatever from underneath the Bone Crusher Giant. If you just block like this, then I'm going to stomp the Enclave Mentor. We're obviously dead to... Okay, he saved the Warlock Champion. But there's gonna be no Conclave Mentor, and it's that they go to 11, like we play another Bone Crusher. Next turn we can cast a Firebolt from our graveyard on the Ballista. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess they can move counters onto that, but then we can attack. Or they just draw Heliod and win. But the other way, like they're gonna obviously use the Spike Feeder instead of like doing the Walking Ballista combo that wins. Oh no, that actually doesn't work, right? Because they'll need to gain life somehow this turn. Oh, that does work. Give lifelink, attack, counter, give lifelink. Good. But it's possible they didn't see that, so like it's so weird to scoop in this moment because like my opponent was getting infinite life and with 10 minutes on the clock, which is, who knows if it's sensible. Watch 4 plus on 4, I believe it's for protection from red monsters. They wanted to infinitely gain life just to be certain. Yeah, there are 2 planes in play. I think I'd have Blast Zones and NK returns here, but that will mean that I have no Blood Moons. More like 2 mountains. Yeah, that's the reason why I want to carry that. I don't think it's all that great. I'm gonna fetch the basics. Although they have white cards and green cards. But try it this way. Sounds like you should gentlemanly agree to infinite life. Do they reference to something? Doesn't ring a bell. Monolith Obosh Prowess deck for a time the like lists had Hayashi's list, who is like the most copied person for this archetype, had Oblivion Stones in their sideboard. And you know, like mono red aggro deck boarding in Oblivion Stones is so intense. I think I should save removal. 2 of these mountains march. You have all kinds of mountains in this realm. Have you already tried Mark Tobias's decks? I won't. Yeah, Blood Moon doesn't look too good here. Don't think I want to bolt that. Maybe that's bad to play it too, because I would rather have more action, but the mountain is not doing much, and this kind of board kind of hurts, but it's fine. Moment Courier seems quite poor against blockers. 2 times Skyclave Apparition though. Yeah, maybe I think I was supposed to maybe wait for a bit to empty my hand. Because I was close to just straight up drawing 2 without throwing Valua. If he doesn't do all that much, I'm gonna be mana efficient, but this deck is not trivially easy to play because the companion is also summoning companion from your command zone to your hand is bad with Omnath Courier is bad with other things. I'd really like to draw a Kozilek's return now though. Would be so nice. And should be probably attacking for 6 damage, but seemingly they don't care. Like attacking? What? I kill a mentor. I think the return is the most game-changing card, so I wanna play towards drawing it. That is not bad. I guess we can attack with the elemental now. They block on this. That means that they're not blocking this or this. They block on this, and we can use a dart to finish an apparition. Well, I guess that dart is 2 damage anyways. But if they block with the Orok, then they don't block with those. No, but I guess it's just worthless because they block with an apparition. I wonder if I would like rather kill the Noble Hierarch. Because the 1/1 doesn't matter much. I'll just save it. Save it, let's save it. Attractive too. Use it, we can use it as interruption for some kind of a combination. My opponent assembles such, I think. Interesting. And deal 8 to my opponent's face. Let's attack then with everybody. And let's see what my opponent does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why not attack with Omnath? Really attacking with my view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a removal of some sort, so the response. We dart them, that's 10 plus 2, so that's 12. So let's lead on a kicked bear sliding face. Let's deal -4 life. I didn't attack with the Omnath last turn because it would have traded for a Skaglev apparition, and I wanted to be able to get extra cards from it. Granted, I could have killed the one that was blocking it, but maybe that was decent actually. Might be right. I think I'll keep the Cyborg Stratagem. We didn't draw any plus zones, but Moon is clearly bad against how many basics they had, and like they're gonna go Forest, Sprawl on Forest, and it's like, okay, that one doesn't do anything. It's a good hand. You can play a turn 1, 1/1, and then kill it off with our Kozilek's return. Because of that, I think we'll kill the elf even more so than we would normally. Resistance Firebolt is like good at doing so. Utopia Sprawl, okay. Naming green. And Utopia Sprawl, naming green. Naming white, and another elf. Awkward to play out the courier with the Kozilek's return in hand because it's never gonna play out like super well. Heliod, Yapko, gain 7000 life. Your turn. Scavenging Goose, that's more okay. Company. Decklist apparition, okay. Exile my Omnath, I won't have to worry about the Kozilek's return anti-synergy, so that's good. Now if I attack, will they block? They block, it's bad for me. But you can't doubt. I think there is like a plausible reason for them to block, especially since they see the Bone Crusher Giant, and I really need to cast Bone Crusher Giant for my next attacks to be better. And also, like, saving their 2 toughness creature for Kozilek's return is a good idea. Ah, okay. And when? Well, we'll see. Play Lifelink. Their hand 3 Heliods. They drew 5 Coco this much. What's the average amount of companies that a person have an allowance for drawing during a match? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not Thank you for the raid, Jason. Yapko. Oh, that's not even Yapko. It's interesting. I could correct the Sunbaked Canyon, but I will rather cast a Firebolt from my graveyard. Not really. I guess 1, 2, 1, 2. Gain 2 life from this, at least they're gonna be at 12 life, so maybe 1, 2k return go faces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll go to 4. Now the K return is not gonna be easy to set up, that kills my illusion, but who cares. They have 1 card in hand, which I would be guessing that it's either a land or a Heliod from like how the game was playing out. How are you? I'm well. And then we don't sack the land, which means that a 5th land drop is gonna let me flashback the Firebolt. As your gameplay, more likely to be Heliod. I see you losing to Envy life here, so you just hold return. Yeah, I guess we can hold it for the combo. Because that does interrupt the combo, right? Because it would work. And then we deal 5 this turn, and then we kinda find next turn to deal the rest. An extra burn spell draw. But you don't have lethal. Yeah, I don't. Never said I do. But I will have it on the next turn. Right now you do have lethal. Season is going places. What a hint. I think I'll keep the Seasoned Pyro over one of the Prowess monsters. The 4th one is probably worse than the first Seasoned. Very good to dry land. I think I'll just play the creatures, right? Okay. Next time we're gonna start light up before combat. As my opponent Uros. We can have a force. They don't have Uro yet, really. Seems like no force, so we can kill this turn if we hit some burn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 4, plus 1. One's gonna go to 1. Keep this in hand. No reason to play it out, I don't think so. They might have a sweeper, and if they don't, then... If they do have a sweeper, I'm gonna crack the Pomad Courier to discard this to find a burn spell to kill them. I think. But like, they can fetch, they can play an Omnath, so... I think we're mostly fine. Mr. Streamer, how would 11 be in Polish? You mean the word for 11? I'll be 11. We have a bolt in hand. Tap draw, sure. I think cracking is fine because that's them. It really can, it's like they will need to draw a forest to escape Uro. I have enough cards even. Time warp. Okay. Put a cryptic command on top, so we're gonna get cryptically commanded. My mana draw card, 0 mana draw card. Kanister was curious. Sporting the surgicals. So Seasoned Pyro is strong. One Crusher is, I think I like because it's both a threat and a creature. Threat and a spell. That one seems good. Light Up seems excellent. Lava Dart has many Prowess triggers. Pomad Courier is, I think, Gucci. Creatures I want to keep. 4 extraction is kinda a lot. Like a Bone Crusher. Let's try 4 extractions. Like it's kinda a lot, but I always thought that the extractions are kinda decent against the Uro decks. It's like, how is my opponent defeating me without Uro? I guess with Omnath. It's going to send another notification in 30 minutes later if that is the pattern, saying that people events are disabled. It will. I keep my hand. What ways does the Omnath deck have to deal with a resolved moon? Other guests or celestial purges are in their sideboards, for sure. When do you use Blast Zone? Blast Zone can kill the protection from red creatures. That's a huge part of why it's there, and then also it can sometimes, when moon is bad, then it should be good. Because I have 2 extractions, I guess I could deny them the land. They only have 4 cards. Yeah, smartly they targeted the... Actually, I'm not sure if I want to remove the ones from their deck. Because that means that I probably shouldn't. With the Misty as well. I think I'll save it for Uro, but... I guess like if they're mana screwed, then I could get the Misty. But like then I remove those from their hand. But their deck has so much lands. Cleansing Wildfires against Moon. Ethergas, 2 Celestial Purge, 1 EE, Fire Spot. Fire Spella, Jace. Notably a Vintage Masters and a M25 Jace. Volt Bolt, Buff, Omnath, times 4. No hours at all. 1 Ghost Quarter against me. Why do they have a Ghost Quarter against me? What do you think, Twitch? Do we take them or do we leave them? I think we do leave them in the deck. I think I'll save the Surgical for Uro. Of which I only have 3. So like I exiled 1 talent from the deck because I was too fast and cannot do that. Now with a second creature, we could clock them a lot. They have 0 removal, so they will need to draw lands. Then they can play the Fairy Cycle cards again. They'll get to Omnath, probably. I don't have a great way to defeat Omnath either. Except like drawing a burn spell and using 2 burn spells to deal with that. But then I already like left the Sculling Tents in their deck. This is a pretty awkward decision. I'll keep the extraction for Uro. Obosh deals with Omnath. Yeah, Obosh outpowers Omnath for the most part. They do have 4 mana, they do have the Omnath mana currently. Wait for the Prowess trigger now. They have Gas Omnath Teferi. Also they play 3 Sanctuaries. They borrowed out the Time Warps, I guess that makes sense. They were playing Time Warp game 1. 3 Uro, yeah, I'm wondering. 3 Uro for Omnath is a bit weird. Was the first surgical target. Scalding Tarn, but I decided mid-exiling that I don't want to exile the Scalding Tarns from their deck, but only after I clicked on the first Scalding Tarn in their deck. I had 2 extractions, I targeted a Scalding Tarn, I was targeted by Red and 6 to deny them a lens. That was a close call, I almost went 24 hours without hearing Person of Interest. -1 land. Wow, really? Wow, thanks. And I'm surprised by how smoothly this deck plays out. Like the way this deck gets and then uses card advantage is a little bit odd, because you just kind of throw cards at problems, and sometimes you throw 3 cards at the problem card, but you're just fine. It just ends up playing out fine. I agree, it's kind of weird and maybe like unexpected when you haven't played this deck for yourself, but you know, opponent plays an Omnath, you need to firebolt, darts, flashback, dartage. It's fine. Not, you know, insanely great, but it's not super bad. Yeah, and because of the lava dart, you like you have a use for the land, so that's also good, etc. Instant speed hour, please. Show me the hour here in this deck. The only really bad thing is Omnath plus Obosh. You draw Obosh and then you like don't cast it for a long time, and then Omnath wants you to discard it, and it's imperfect. Why did you attack all at the fairies? Because I wanted to kill the fairy and I knew that my opponent had Ether Gas and Path to Exile on their hand. I think we are fine playing the longer game because Uro's got exiled, so they don't have anything of that really, that scale really that threatens me. So like I'm fine assuring to kill the fairy, play it a little bit of a longer game. On Pafa jeszcze ma na ręce. Tak, Pafik był z... They had a Puff from Mystic Sanctuary. So their hand is Puff plus something else. Giant gets Puffed, that's absolutely fine. But we'll have all the colors of mana with a Blood Moon out, but we wanna have the... No, it's still gonna be harder to double spell, can Sanctuary, can fetch with Omnath, and play Jace. Entry in explosives seems like, given from how they are casting this. Wasn't I tapped out? Shouldn't they have done it immediately? I think I want to play the Moon because it's my extra card. In the worst case I play an Omnath. Let's go, Companion. The Prey Piercer. Get them. GG. Kanister wins the match. Opponent's hand, Jace. Jace. Cleansing Wildfire, the best answer to Blood Moon. Nice moons, thanks. And I could easily draw the Seasoned Pyromancer eventually and discard them to draw extra moons. Well, opponent could have fired themselves, yeah. They probably should have, because they could have drawn a path for the Obosh. I think I can cross the Mono-Red Prowess deck off of my checklist, off of my to-do list. For now, we lost the Mirror, which seems like a matchup that's really hard to play, and we lost the Red-Black matchup, which seems like it could be a little problematic, but I also misspotted. Because the Blood Moon just doesn't make all that much sense when you just die to the Scourges of the Skycliffs that easily, and like this is the way to clear the shadows too. Which is exactly how the last game played out too, because I was the weakest against multiple shadows. I was fine against a single shadow, because against a single shadow you can like maneuver with many creatures attacking bolts, face, etc. But you know, I had a few bolts and a few creatures, but my opponent just played 2 shadows, and then like I couldn't attack because they could have blocked both, and then they started attacking with one, blocking with the other one, and then it was way too bad. Extraction I think is a good way to solve Uros. It's actually like quite good, better than the Relic. So anyway, Blaster and Coslex return to solve the creatures that are hard to kill otherwise problems. Like, Shattering Spree, like you probably don't need to play for a Shattering Spree because just nobody plays Eldrazi-Tron, so if there were better cards to play in the sideboard, then you could easily spend those slots on something more relevant than that. Because it's just Eldrazi-Tron with Chalice and nothing else, and that's 4 slots for a, let's just say, dead deck that barely exists. And I didn't really love Pomad Courier, like it plays really badly with companions. Because you are charging up your Pomad, but then you have mana to grab your companion, but then you kind of want to grab your companion because you would end up discarding it, and it's really poor. And also doesn't really deal damage. It's only good against control decks in Modern, the Pomad Courier.